Right, you ready to dive into Monday.com's Q4 earnings call? We've got their shareholder letter, investor presentation, and the full call transcript. So let's see what's really going on beneath the surface.
Absolutely. There's a lot to unpack here. And it's fascinating to see how they're balancing rapid growth with strategic expansion into the enterprise market.
Right. First off, they hit a huge GE milestone. $1 billion in annual recurring revenue.
Yeah.
That's not just a number, that's proof their WorkOS platform is resonating in a big way.
Yeah, it really is. It's a testament to their growth and the increasing demand for these flexible work management solutions. And while we're seeing, maybe a slight slowdown in growth compared to the breakneck pace of previous years, 33% year-over-year revenue growth to $972 million for the fiscal year is still incredibly strong, especially given, the current economic climate.
Yeah, seriously, most software companies would kill for those numbers.
Yeah,
but it's not just about top-line growth, it's about profitability too.
Right.
And guess what? They nailed it on that front as well with record operating margins, A&D record free cash flow.
Exactly. And to understand why that's so important, we need to look at a key metric called net dollar retention rate, or NDR for short. This basically tells us how well a company is doing at keeping its existing customers happy and spending more.
Okay, so are they keeping those customers happy?
They are. Their NDR went up to 112% in Q4, and they're expecting that to stay steady in 2025. So that means, on average, their existing customers are spending 12% more than they did last year. That's a sign of a very sticky product and a happy customer base.
Okay, so they're making money, keeping customers happy, and growing like crazy. But are they still just a one-trick pony with their work management platform? Or are they becoming a true multi-product company?
That's a great question, and the answer is they are definitely diversifying their offerings. Remember Monday Sales CRM?
Yeah.
Well, it's exceeding expectations, and both it and Monday Dev saw record numbers of new accounts in 2024.
So people aren't just using Monday.com for basic task management anymore. They're using it to manage their sales pipelines, their development workflows, and more.
Exactly. And the best part, it's not just us noticing their success. They were recognized as a leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant in 3 different categories in 2024. Think about that. Work management, CRM, and application development platforms. They're hitting it out of the park.
Okay, so they're financially killing it, expanding their product offerings, and racking up industry accolades. But we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the elephant in the room, AI. It's everywhere these days, but how is Monday.com actually using it to create real value for its users?
They are all in on AI, and it's not just marketing fluff. They reported that users have taken over 10 million AI-powered actions on their platform since the AI integration launched. Think about that, 10 million. That's proof that people aren't just playing around with it. They're actually incorporating it into their workflows.
Wow, 10 million AI actions. That's impressive. But what does that even look like in practice? Like, what are these AI actions?
So they have a 3-pronged approach to AI. First, they have these things called AI blocks. They're like pre-built AI modules that you can plug and play into your workflows to automate all sorts of tasks. And get this, they're planning to expand these blocks in 2025 to make them even more powerful.
Okay, so that's one prong. Pre-built AI modules. What's the second?
Their second prong is what they call product power-ups. This is where AI is baked directly into each of their products, like CRM or Dev, to address very specific user needs within those products. So it's not just generic AI, it's tailored to what you're actually doing in that specific tool.
I see. So they have these pre-built AI modules you can use across a platform, and they're weaving AI directly into the individual tools themselves. It's pretty smart. What's the third prong?
The third prong is their digital workforce. Think AI agents like the Monday Expert, a virtual assistant that provides insights and helps you streamline processes. It's like having a super smart helper right inside the platform, guiding you and making sure you're working efficiently.
Okay, that's really interesting. And to make sure everyone can access these AI features, they've introduced a new consumption-based pricing model for AI blocks. So you get some free usage to start, and then you can buy more as you need it. That's a clever way to give everyone a taste of the AI magic without forcing them to commit to a huge upfront cost.
It is. And it also aligns perfectly with their aggressive push into the enterprise market, which is clearly a major focus for them. They announced that they landed an 80,000 seat customer. And let me tell you, that's not your average small business signing up for a free trial.
That's a massive win. But can their platform really handle those huge deployments? That's a lot of users and a lot of data.
That's where their upgraded data architecture comes in. Remember MondayDB?
Yeah.
Well, they completed MondayDB 2.0 in 2024, which is specifically designed to support these massive deployments with complex use cases. So they're not just going after big clients, they're making sure their infrastructure can actually handle them.
So they're putting their money where their mouth is, backing up their enterprise ambitions with serious technological upgrades. I like it.
Yeah.
But what about new products? Are they launching anything completely new to target this enterprise market?
They are. They just announced the general availability of Monday Service, their brand new AI-first enterprise service management solution.
AI first, huh? That sounds intriguing. What's the deal with this new product?
Well, it's designed to help service teams deliver amazing support faster using smart AI-powered automation. And get this, it already has the highest cross-sell rate of any of their new products, meaning their existing customers are adding it to their subscriptions like crazy.
Wow, so they're not just attracting new enterprise customers, they're also successfully selling this new product to their existing base. That's a great sign.
And there's more. It also boasts the highest average contract value, or ACV, of their entire product suite. So that means they're attracting larger, more valuable customers right out of the gate. It's a pretty powerful combination.
Okay, so time for some fun. It's time for our This Is Not Financial Advice segment, where we throw out a completely wild, yet strangely plausible trade idea. And trust me, this one's a doozy.
Oh boy, here we go. Fasten your seatbelts.
I'm thinking Monday.com is ripe for acquisition.
Okay.
Their growth is insanely attractive, their platform is robust, and their AI capabilities are clearly resonating with users. Maybe a little too early for a full-on acquisition play.
Interesting. Who's the potential suitor?
Imagine a company like ServiceNow. They've been dipping their toes into the low-code, no-code world, but they're still playing catch-up. What if they decided to just skip the line and buy Monday.com's platform, AI capabilities, and enterprise customer base all at once? Boom. Instant market dominance.
That's a bold move, but ServiceNow has been on an acquisition spree lately, and Monday.com would definitely fit into their strategy of expanding into new markets.
Exactly. Think about the synergy ServiceNow gets: a powerful platform, advanced AI capabilities, and a foothold in the enterprise market. Monday.com gets the resources and backing of a much larger company. It's a match made in heaven. Or at least in some investment banker's spreadsheet somewhere.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. It's a long shot, but not entirely implausible. It would be a massive deal, but it could make sense for both companies strategically.
Right. It's just a thought, folks. Remember, this is not financial advice, but it does show how Monday.com's success is making them a major player in the workOS space, a player that others might want to acquire to get a piece of the action.
Okay, let's step back from the hypothetical acquisition frenzy and get back to the facts.
Yeah.
One thing that really stood out to me was that despite their focus on winning those massive enterprise contracts, they still managed to add a ton of new customers in 2024, reaching a total of 245,000.
245,000 customers. That's more than most of their competitors. So they're not just winning the big fish, they're also reeling in the smaller ones. And they're doing all of this against a backdrop of economic uncertainty, which makes their achievements even more impressive.
It's true. Their 2024 performance suggests they're not just surviving, they're thriving, even in a challenging market.
And it's not just about acquiring new logos, right? It's about helping their existing customers grow and get more value out of the platform.
Right.
And that's where their multi-product strategy really shines. By offering a suite of integrated solutions, they can provide a much more comprehensive and customized experience. As their customers' businesses grow and evolve, Monday.com can grow with them, offering new tools and solutions to support their changing needs.
It's a win-win. Their customers get the tools they need to succeed, and Monday.com gets to deepen those relationships and increase revenue. Speaking of which, they mentioned during the call that they've been busy building out their executive team, particularly in the sales organization.
Yeah, they're definitely investing in talent. In 2024, they grew their sales force by a whopping 26%.
Exactly. They now have almost 400 quota-carrying reps, and they're still hiring. They're planning to fill the CRO position by the end of Q2 2025 and expect to continue ramping up sales hiring throughout the first half of the year. It's clear they see a massive opportunity ahead, and they're putting the resources in place to seize it.
So it's not just about adding more salespeople. It's about bringing in the right people with the right experience.
They emphasize their focus on hiring people who understand the complexities of selling in their target market, particularly the enterprise segment. They're looking for strategic thinkers who can build long-term relationships and navigate the nuances of selling to large, complex organizations.
Okay, so we've got a growing sales team, a push into the enterprise market, new product launches, and impressive financial performance.
Hmm.
But what about their existing core products? Are they still investing in those?
Absolutely. They were very clear about their commitment to continually enhancing their core work management platform, as well as their other products like CRM and Dev.
Okay, good, good. That's a relief. It's easy to get distracted by shiny new things, but it's crucial to keep investing in the products that got you here in the first place.
Right. It's about balancing innovation with continuous improvement. They understand that their core products are the foundation of their success. And a big part of that foundation, as we've discussed, is AI.
Yeah, it's clear they see AI as a key differentiator and are weaving it into every aspect of their platform and product strategy. They're not just talking the talk, they're walking the walk. And those 10 million AI actions prove it. But let's dive a bit deeper into how they're using AI to address some of the biggest challenges facing teams today.
So they're focusing on using AI to enhance collaboration and communication, which are more important than ever with the rise of remote and hybrid work. It's true, staying on the same page, keeping track of progress, making sure everyone has the information they need, those are challenges every team faces, no matter where they're working from.
Exactly. And it feels like those challenges have only gotten more complex, right? With remote and hybrid work kind of becoming the norm. So, how is Monday.com tackling these challenges with AI? Like, give me the specifics.
So one way they're doing this is with their AI agents, like the Monday expert we talked about earlier. These agents act like virtual assistants that help teams quickly find the information they need.
So instead of wasting time, like digging through emails or documents or chat threads, you can just ask the Monday expert and get an instant answer.
Precisely. No more interrupting your teammates with simple questions or getting lost in a sea of digital clutter. It's all about, cutting down on that friction and making it easier for everyone to stay informed.
Okay, that's a huge time saver.
Hmm.
What else are they doing with AI to improve collaboration?
They're also using AI to automate those tedious, repetitive tasks and workflows that just suck up so much of our time.
Right.
By automating these processes, they're freeing up team members to focus on, more strategic and creative work.
Yeah, I'm all about that. So instead of like manually sending emails, tracking responses, and compiling feedback, you could have an AI-powered workflow handle all of that for you.
Exactly. Think about like a project where you need input from multiple stakeholders.
Yeah.
Instead of manually managing that whole process, you could set up an AI-powered workflow to send out the requests, track responses, compile the feedback, and even summarize the key takeaways.
Wow, that would be a game changer. It's not just about
Yeah.
speed, right? It's about making those processes smarter and more effective.
It's about working smarter, not harder. AI can handle the heavy lifting, so you can focus on the high-impact work that really matters.
All right, so we've talked a lot about AI, but let's circle back to their financial performance for a second. They reported record free cash flow in 2024, which is great news for investors, obviously, but it also gives them a ton of flexibility, right, to invest in future growth.
Absolutely. Strong free cash flow is a sign of a healthy business. It means they have more money to invest in things like research and development, sales and marketing, strategic acquisitions, or they can even buy back their own shares, which can boost their stock price.
Lots of options on the table. But based on what we've seen so far, it seems like their main focus is on organic growth, right? Driven by product innovation and expansion into new markets.
That seems to be the core of their strategy, and it's a sound one. They have a ton of momentum right now, a growing product portfolio, and a massive market opportunity ahead of them.
And with their, strategic focus on AI, they're in a great position to ride the wave of this rapidly evolving workplace.
No doubt about it. They're definitely a company to keep an eye on.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about some of the challenges and risks they face. Because let's be real, no company is perfect.
Of course not. Even the most successful companies have weaknesses and face, headwinds. One challenge they'll need to navigate is the increasing competition in the workOS market. As more players enter the space, it's going to get harder and harder to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, it's not enough to just have a good product anymore. You need to have a great product, something
Yeah.
that truly differentiates you from the competition.
Exactly. They need to carve out their niche and become the go-to solution for specific types of users and use cases. They can't be everything to everyone.
So how are they approaching that? Like, how are they planning to differentiate themselves?
One key strategy is verticalization.
Verticalization, explain it like I'm five.
Basically, it means tailoring their platform and products to very specific industries like marketing, sales, software development, and now with Monday Service, customer service. So they're creating like specialized solutions for each industry, addressing those unique needs and workflows.
So instead of having like a one-size-fits-all work OS, they're creating tailored solutions that are fine-tuned to the specific challenges of different industries.
Exactly. That way they can compete more effectively against both those like massive horizontal players that try to be everything to everyone, and those smaller niche players that focus on just one specific thing.
Yeah, it's the best of both worlds. They get to offer a robust, scalable platform, but with the flexibility and customization options of a much more specialized solution.
Okay, so they're addressing the competitive landscape through verticalization. What other challenges are on their radar?
Um, Another big one, especially as they move upmarket into the enterprise space, is integration.
Integration.
Their platform needs to play nicely with all the other systems and tools that their large enterprise customers are already using.
Because nobody wants to rip and replace their entire tech stack just to implement a new work OS, right? Exactly. Integration is absolutely crucial in the enterprise world. If their platform can't easily connect to other systems, it just creates more complexity and friction for their customers, which can hinder adoption and expansion.
They need to be the friendly giant, not the bull in the china shop.
Precisely. Collaboration and interoperability are key to success in the enterprise market.
Okay, we've talked about competition and integration. What about international expansion? They're a global company now, right?
They are. With a strong presence in Europe and other regions, global expansion is a huge part of their growth strategy.
But going global isn't easy, right? You have to deal with different languages, different cultures, different regulations.
It's a lot to juggle, and one of the biggest hurdles is adapting their product and go-to-market strategy to different cultural contexts.
Because what works in one country might not translate well to another?
Exactly. They need to be sensitive to cultural nuances and tailor their messaging and product features accordingly.
So it's not just about translating the software, it's about understanding the unique needs and preferences of users in different parts of the world.
It's about localization. They need to ensure their platform feels relevant and intuitive to users in each market.
Okay, we've covered competition, integration, international expansion. Any other potential risks or challenges on the horizon?
Well, they did mention, the ongoing uncertainty in the global economy during the call.
Right, the dreaded R word is on everyone's mind these days.
Exactly. And if the economy takes a downturn, it could definitely impact their growth.
Yeah, that's fair. But, I mean, they seem to be doing pretty well, even with the current economic headwinds. Their guidance for 2025 was actually quite optimistic.
They were confident in their outlook. However, they need to be prepared for any potential economic storms.
So stay agile, be adaptable, and be ready to adjust course if needed.
Exactly. You can't control the economy, but you can control how you respond to it.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground here. Let's recap the key takeaways from this deep dive into Monday.com's Q4 earnings call.
Sounds good to me. I always appreciate a good summary.
First and foremost, they're in a very strong financial position. They're growing rapidly, they have healthy margins, and they're generating a ton of cash.
They're firing on all cylinders financially, which gives them a lot of options for the future.
Second, their multi-product strategy is working. New offerings like Monday Service are exceeding expectations and attracting valuable customers.
They're not just a one-trick pony anymore. They're building a comprehensive suite of solutions to address a wider range of customer needs.
And underpinning all of this is, of course, a strategic focus on AI. They're integrating it into every facet of their platform and product strategy.
They're betting big on AI, and it seems to be paying off. Users are embracing the AI features, and they're seeing real value from them.
They're also making a concerted effort to break into the enterprise market, landing larger customers and building out their sales team to support that growth.
They're laying the groundwork for long-term success in a very lucrative market.
But of course, there are challenges ahead. They need to stay ahead of the competition, ensure seamless integration with enterprise IT environments, adapt to different cultural contexts as they expand globally, and be prepared to weather any potential economic storms.
Those are all valid concerns. But based on their performance in 2024 and their plans for 2025, they seem well equipped to tackle those challenges head on.
They're in a great position, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
The work never really ends, especially in the fast-paced world of technology.
They need to keep innovating, keep executing, and keep pushing the boundaries of what a work OS can be.
They've set a high bar for themselves, and it's exciting to see how they'll continue to raise it.
All right, before we wrap things up, I want to get your take on something. Throughout this deep dive, we focus mainly on, Monday.com's strengths. Their financial performance, their product strategy, their AI capabilities, their enterprise push. But what about their weaknesses? Like, where do you see potential areas for improvement?
That's a great question. No company is perfect, and Monday.com definitely has room to grow. One area that stands out to me is their platform's user experience.
You mean, like, is it actually user-friendly?
Well, I mean, they've made progress in simplifying their platform, but it can still feel a bit complex, especially for new users or those who aren't already familiar with like the concept of a work OS.
Yeah, I've heard that from a few people. It can be a bit overwhelming at first with all the different views and boards and customization options.
Exactly. Their platform is powerful and flexible, but they need to continue to make it more intuitive, especially as they target larger enterprises with users who might not be as, tech savvy.
So maybe more guided onboarding, better in-app tutorials, or like a more streamlined interface for those basic everyday tasks.
Those are all good ideas. It's about finding the right balance between power and simplicity.
Okay, so user experience is one area for improvement. What else?
Another area where they could step up their game is the mobile experience.
The whole
They have mobile apps, but they're not as fully featured as their desktop platform.
Yeah, it's tough to replicate like all the functionality of desktop app on a tiny little screen.
It is a challenge.
Yeah.
But with so many people working remotely or on the go, a robust mobile experience is becoming more and more important.
So they need to invest in making their mobile apps just as powerful and user-friendly as their desktop version.
Absolutely. It needs to be a seamless experience no matter what device you're using.
Okay. Any other areas where they could improve?
One final area I'd highlight is their pricing strategy.
Pricing.
Their recent price increase, while understandable, could make them less competitive for price-sensitive customers, especially in the small and medium business market.
Yeah, pricing is always a tricky thing to get right. You have to find that sweet spot where you're providing enough value to justify the cost, but not pricing yourself out of the market.
It's a delicate balancing act. And as they move upmarket and target larger enterprises, they need to be very strategic about their pricing.
Okay, so the key takeaways here are to keep simplifying the user experience, enhance their mobile offerings, and be mindful of their pricing strategy.
If they can focus on those areas while continuing to execute their core strategy, they'll be in a very strong position to achieve their ambitious goals.
Yeah, it sounds like they're on the right track, but still have some work to do to kind of refine their approach.
Well, no company is ever truly finished,
Right.
right? There's always room for improvement and innovation.
So true. And speaking of innovation, one thing we haven't touched on yet is their approach to research and development. How much are they investing in, like, building the
Yeah.
future?
They're definitely not shy about investing in R&D. They've consistently allocated a significant portion of their revenue to it, and it shows in their product roadmap. They're constantly, pushing the boundaries of what a work OS can be, experimenting with new technologies, exploring new ways to solve their customers' problems.
It seems like they have a good balance, right? Between focusing on the present, like improving their existing products and expanding their market reach. A&D looking ahead to the future.
Yeah, they're playing the long game, which is essential in the tech world. They're not just chasing short-term gains. They're building a platform and a company that can thrive for years to come.
Okay, let's talk about their leadership team for a minute. What's the vibe? Are they the kind of leaders who can steer this ship through choppy waters and keep the innovation engine running?
From everything we've seen and heard, they seem to have assembled a very strong and experienced leadership team. They've got a clear vision, they're not afraid to take risks, and they're very customer-centric.
Yeah, customer centricity is so important these days. You have to really understand your customers' needs and build products that solve their problems.
Okay.
It can't just be about, making a quick buck.
Right. It's about building long-term relationships and becoming a trusted partner. And that's exactly what Monday.com seems to be doing. They're not just selling software, they're helping their customers transform the way they work.
And that's a powerful message that resonates with businesses of all sizes.
Absolutely. And it's a message that's resonating with Wall Street, too. Their stock has been performing well, and analysts are bullish on their future prospects.
Yeah, they've definitely earned that recognition. They're building a successful business, disrupting a massive market, and shaping the future of work. And that's something investors get excited about.
I'm excited about it. It's inspiring to see a company like Monday.com push the boundaries and challenge the status quo.
Okay, before we wrap things up, I have to ask you about one more thing.
Uh-huh.
Throughout this deep dive, we've talked about like their successes, their strengths, their opportunities. But what about the potential downsides? What are the biggest risks or red flags you see on the horizon?
That's a fair question. Every investment carries some level of risk, and Monday.com is no exception. One risk that comes to mind is their dependence on a single platform.
Okay.
While they're diversifying their product portfolio, their core business still revolves around their Work OS platform.
So if something were to happen to that platform, like a major security breach or a technical glitch or just a sudden drop in popularity, it could have a significant impact on their overall business.
Exactly. They need to be very vigilant about protecting their platform, ensuring its reliability, and constantly innovating to keep it ahead of the curve.
Makes sense. What other risks should we be thinking about?
Another potential risk is their rapid growth.
Rapid growth.
While growth is generally a good thing, managing that growth effectively can be a challenge. They need to make sure they're scaling their operations, their infrastructure, and their team in a sustainable way.
Because growing too quickly can sometimes lead to problems, right? You can end up with like inefficiencies, bottlenecks, or even a decline in quality.
Exactly. It's a balancing act.
Hmm.
They need to find that sweet spot where they're growing fast enough to capture market share, but not so fast that they lose control of the ship.
They've got to maintain that balance between speed and stability.
Precisely. It's a challenge, but it's a good challenge to have. It means they're doing something right.
Okay, so potential risks to consider: platform dependence and the challenges of managing rapid growth. Any other red flags waving in the distance?
Well, we talked about their push into the enterprise market, which is, a smart move strategically,
Right.
but it also exposes them to a different set of risks.
Like what?
Well, enterprise sales cycles can be much longer and more complex than SMB sales cycles. You're dealing with larger organizations, more stakeholders, more bureaucracy, and more demanding requirements.
So it takes longer to close deals, which can impact revenue predictability.
Right.
And if they don't adapt their sales processes and their product to meet those, enterprise needs, they could struggle to gain traction in that market.
It's a different ball game, and they need to make sure they're playing by the right rules.
Right. So we've got platform dependence, rapid growth challenges, and the complexities of enterprise sales. Those are some pretty significant risks to keep in mind.
They are. But it's important to remember that every investment carries some level of risk. The key is to, weigh those risks against the potential rewards.
And in Monday.com's case, the potential rewards seem pretty substantial.
They do. They're a company with a lot of momentum, a clear vision, a strong leadership team, and a product that's resonating with businesses around the world.
They're definitely a company worth watching.
I'd say so. I'm curious to see what the next chapter holds for them.
Me too. And there you have it, folks. Our comprehensive deep dive into Monday.com's Q4 2024 earnings call. We explored their successes, their challenges, their opportunities, and their risks. Now it's up to you to decide what it all means for you.
Remember, this is just our analysis, not financial advice. Always do your own research and consult with a financial professional before making any investment decisions.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. We'll be back next week with another episode exploring a different company or trend shaping the future of work. Until then, stay curious.